Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room wearing nothing extravagant, yet everyone assumes they are successful, refined, and impossible to ignore? It isn't because they're covered in luxury brands or chasing the latest trends. There is something quieter, something deeper that commands respect before they even speak. That presence isn't purchased. It is practiced. The truth is, looking expensive has very little to do with money. It has everything to do with the choices you make every single day. The way you carry yourself, the standards you refuse to lower, the details you pay attention to when no one is watching. These are the silent signals that shape how the world sees you. People often spend thousands trying to impress others, while overlooking the simple habits that create genuine elegance. Today's world constantly tells you that value comes with a higher price tag. But the most unforgettable people understand a different secret. They know that class is revealed in discipline, confidence, and consistency. They understand that true sophistication cannot be copied overnight because it begins from within and naturally shows itself on the outside. In this speech, you'll discover 7 surprisingly simple rules that can transform the way people perceive you without demanding a luxury budget. These aren't fashion tricks or expensive shopping tips. They are timeless principles that quietly communicate confidence, self-respect, and quiet power. If you're ready to stop chasing appearances and start building a presence that speaks before you do, then stay with me, because the smallest changes often create the most extraordinary impressions. True elegance begins long before anyone notices the clothes you wear, the watch on your wrist, or the shoes you choose. It begins in the way you see yourself when no one is watching. A person who respects themselves carries an invisible confidence that cannot be bought, borrowed, or copied. This is why 2 people can wear the exact same outfit, yet one appears ordinary while the other seems effortlessly refined. The difference is not the price of the clothing. It is the value they place on themselves. Self-respect shapes every decision, every habit, and every interaction, quietly telling the world, I know who I am, and I do not need to prove it. Many people believe that looking expensive requires a larger income, a designer wardrobe, or constant access to luxury. But history has shown us that genuine sophistication has never belonged exclusively to the wealthy. There are individuals with modest means who leave unforgettable impressions because they carry themselves with dignity, speak with intention, and maintain standards that money alone cannot create. On the other hand, there are people surrounded by luxury who still fail to project confidence because they depend on possessions to define their worth. Material things can decorate your appearance, but they cannot replace character. Self-respect is reflected in the smallest details of everyday life. It is choosing clean, well-maintained clothing instead of chasing endless trends. It is standing tall instead of shrinking to gain approval. It is speaking calmly rather than raising your voice to demand attention. It is arriving on time because you value both your own time and the time of others. These simple actions communicate reliability, discipline, and confidence more powerfully than any expensive accessory ever could. People naturally trust and admire those who demonstrate consistency. When your words match your actions, when your habits reflect care rather than carelessness. You create an image of stability. Stability is often mistaken for success because disciplined people tend to make thoughtful decisions instead of impulsive ones. They understand that every small choice contributes to the reputation they build over months and years. Looking expensive is often nothing more than looking intentional. Another important truth is that self-respect protects you from the endless cycle of comparison. Modern society encourages people to measure themselves against strangers, chasing lifestyles that may not even be real. Social media often presents carefully edited moments that create unrealistic expectations. A person grounded in self-respect does not feel pressured to compete with every image they see. Instead, they focus on becoming a better version of themselves each day. That quiet confidence becomes visible in their posture, their conversations, and the peaceful way they carry themselves through life. There is also strength in knowing what deserves your energy. People with self-respect do not waste time seeking validation from everyone they meet. They understand that approval is temporary, but character is lasting. Because they know their worth, they make decisions based on values rather than opinions. They remain polite without becoming people pleasers. They remain humble without allowing others to diminish their confidence. This balance creates an aura that feels both approachable and powerful. Real elegance is never loud. It does not announce itself through flashy labels or constant displays of wealth. Instead, it appears in patience, kindness, discipline, and composure. These qualities cannot be purchased in a store because they are developed through daily choices and personal growth. Every time you choose integrity over shortcuts, quality over excess, and confidence over insecurity, you strengthen the foundation of a presence that naturally commands respect. Over time, people stop noticing what you own and begin noticing who you are, because lasting elegance is always the reflection of a person who has first learned to value themselves. The way the world sees you is rarely determined by one dramatic moment. Instead, it is shaped by the small habits you repeat every single day. These habits may seem insignificant on their own, but together they create a lasting impression that speaks louder than words. The truth is, people do not remember every conversation or every outfit you wear. They remember the feeling you leave behind, and that feeling is often created by the consistency of your actions rather than the size of your achievements. Think about someone who always appears polished, confident, and respected. At first glance, it may seem like they were simply born with charisma or natural style, but if you observe them closely, you will notice a pattern. They pay attention to details. They keep their appearance neat. They speak with purpose instead of rushing through conversations. They listen carefully before responding. They arrive prepared rather than making excuses. None of these habits require extraordinary talent or unlimited wealth. They are small decisions repeated so consistently that they become part of a person's identity. One of the most powerful habits is taking care of your personal presentation. This does not mean owning an expensive wardrobe or following every fashion trend. It means wearing clean, well-fitted clothes, maintaining good hygiene, and presenting yourself with care. When you invest time in looking organized, you silently communicate that you respect yourself and the people around you. Others naturally associate that level of care with professionalism, discipline, and confidence. Your posture is another daily habit that influences perception more than you may realize. Standing tall, walking with purpose, and maintaining calm body language send a message before you ever introduce yourself. Slouching, avoiding eye contact, or constantly appearing distracted can unintentionally suggest uncertainty, even if you possess great abilities. People often respond not only to what you say, but also to how you physically carry yourself. A confident posture tells the world that you believe in your own value without needing to say a single word. The words you choose every day also shape your image. Speaking clearly, avoiding unnecessary complaints, and showing respect during conversations create an atmosphere of maturity. People are naturally drawn to those who remain calm under pressure because emotional control is often seen as a sign of wisdom. It is easy to react impulsively, but it takes character to pause, think, and respond with intention. Over time, this habit builds trust and strengthens your reputation. Another important habit is punctuality. Arriving on time may seem like a simple act, but it reflects reliability and self-discipline. When you consistently honor your commitments, people begin to see you as dependable. Dependability is a quality that cannot be purchased, yet it often opens more doors than talent alone. Those who respect time demonstrate that they value opportunities, relationships, and responsibilities. The environment you maintain also tells a story about you. Keeping your workspace organized, caring for your belongings, and paying attention to cleanliness reveal an orderly mindset. You do not need expensive furniture or luxurious surroundings to create a positive impression. A simple, clean, and well-maintained environment often communicates more sophistication than unnecessary extravagance. The habits behind that order reflect discipline in every area of life. Perhaps the greatest advantage of small habits is that they gradually transform your character. At first, they may require conscious effort, but with repetition, they become natural. Confidence grows because you begin trusting yourself to follow through on your standard. Others notice this consistency and respond with greater respect. Your presence becomes associated with reliability, calmness, and quiet excellence rather than temporary displays of success. In the end, it is never one grand gesture that defines your image, but the collection of ordinary choices that you make every single day until they become the unmistakable signature of who you are. Confidence and discipline are two qualities that quietly shape the way people see you. They do not depend on expensive possessions, impressive titles, or public recognition. Instead, they are reflected in your everyday actions, your decisions, and the standards you choose to maintain. When these two qualities work together, they create a presence that naturally appears refined, capable, and valuable. This is why some individuals seem effortlessly sophisticated, regardless of what they wear or where they come from. Their confidence is not loud, and their discipline is not forced. Both are deeply rooted in the way they live. Many people misunderstand confidence. They imagine it as speaking the loudest in the room, constantly seeking attention, or pretending to have all the answers. Genuine confidence is much quieter than that. It is the ability to remain calm when others panic, to speak with clarity instead of rushing to impress, and to accept both success and failure without allowing either to define your worth. A confident person does not need constant validation because their sense of value comes from within rather than from the opinions of others. Discipline gives confidence a solid foundation. Without discipline, confidence can quickly become empty pride. Discipline is the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when motivation fades. It is waking up on time, keeping promises, maintaining healthy routines, and staying committed to your goals despite distraction. These repeated actions strengthen your trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you prove that your words have meaning. That inner trust gradually transforms into genuine confidence because you know you can rely on yourself. People often associate discipline with strict rules or difficult sacrifices, but in reality, it is about creating consistency. A disciplined person understands that excellence is not achieved through occasional bursts of effort. It is built through small actions repeated every day. Whether it is maintaining good posture, keeping clothes clean, speaking respectfully, or managing time wisely, these habits become part of a lifestyle that others naturally admire. Consistency creates predictability, and predictability builds trust. Trust is one of the strongest foundations of an elegant and respected presence. Confidence also changes the way you communicate. Instead of trying to dominate every conversation, you become comfortable listening. You speak with intention rather than filling every silence. Your words carry more weight because they are thoughtful instead of impulsive. People are naturally drawn to those who remain composed, especially during moments of pressure. Emotional control is one of the clearest signs of confidence because it shows that your reactions are guided by wisdom rather than impulse. Discipline influences even the smallest details that others notice. It encourages you to care for your appearance, not out of vanity, but out of respect for yourself. It reminds you to organize your environment, honor your commitments, and continue learning even when no one is watching. These quiet actions create an image of reliability and maturity. Over time, they become part of your identity, making success appear effortless, even though it is built through countless unseen decisions. One of the greatest benefits of confidence and discipline is that they free you from comparison. Instead of chasing trends or trying to imitate others, you begin focusing on your own growth. You understand that real progress happens one step at a time, and you measure success by your own standards rather than by someone else's achievements. This mindset creates peace because you no longer feel pressured to compete for attention or approval. You become comfortable with who you are while continuing to improve who you can become. The world often mistakes luxury for value, but lasting impressions are rarely created by possessions alone. They are created by people who carry themselves with quiet assurance, remain committed to their principles, and consistently demonstrate integrity through their actions. Confidence allows you to walk into any room without fear, while discipline ensures that your actions support the image you present. Together, they form a presence that feels authentic, balanced, and timeless, making others recognize not just what you have, but the strength of character you have chosen to build every single day. Style is often misunderstood as something that belongs only to those with large wardrobes, luxury brands, or endless shopping budgets. Yet the most stylish people are rarely defined by how much they spend. Instead, they are recognized by how intentionally they choose what they wear and how confidently they present themselves. True style is not about owning more. It is about making thoughtful choices. It is the ability to create harmony between your appearance, your personality, and the message you want to communicate without relying on expensive labels to do the talking. Many people fall into the trap of believing that the latest trends automatically make them look sophisticated. They constantly replace their clothes, chasing every new fashion movement in hopes of appearing more successful or attractive. However, trends are temporary. They change with every season, leaving people feeling as though they must always buy something new to stay relevant. A person with genuine style understands that timeless elegance never depends on what is currently popular. Instead, they choose clothing that fits well, feels comfortable, and reflects their character rather than the expectations of others. One of the simplest ways intention transforms style is through proper fit. A modest outfit that fits perfectly often appears more refined than an expensive outfit that is too loose or too tight. Well-fitted clothing creates balance, enhances posture, and shows that you pay attention to details. People may not consciously notice why you look polished, but they instinctively recognize that everything appears intentional. This quiet attention to detail creates an impression of confidence without requiring extravagant spending. Color choices also reveal intention. Instead of filling a wardrobe with random pieces that rarely match, stylish individuals often choose colors that complement each other and suit their personality. Neutral tones, classic shades, and clean combinations create versatility and elegance. This does not mean avoiding color altogether. It means selecting colors with purpose rather than impulse. A carefully chosen outfit communicates organization and self-awareness, qualities that naturally make someone appear more sophisticated. Another overlooked aspect of style is simplicity. Many believe that adding more accessories, patterns, or decorations automatically improves an outfit. In reality, too many competing elements often create distraction instead of elegance. Simplicity allows every piece to serve a purpose. It creates balance and confidence because nothing feels forced or excessive. The most memorable appearances are often those that feel effortless rather than over-designed. Personal grooming plays an equally important role. Clean shoes, neatly styled hair, well-maintained clothing, and attention to hygiene contribute more to a refined image than expensive fashion ever could. These habits demonstrate care and discipline. They communicate that you value yourself enough to present your best, regardless of the occasion. Even the finest designer clothing cannot compensate for neglecting these basic details, while consistent grooming can elevate even the simplest outfit. Style also extends beyond clothing into behavior. The way you smile, make eye contact, greet others, and carry yourself becomes part of your overall presentation. A calm voice, respectful manners, and confident posture complete the image that clothing alone can never create. This is why two people wearing nearly identical outfits can leave completely different impressions. One may appear confident and elegant because their behavior aligns with their appearance, while the other may seem uncomfortable because confidence cannot be stitched into fabric. Perhaps the greatest lesson about style is that it reflects self-awareness rather than social status. When you dress intentionally, you are not trying to imitate someone else's identity. You are expressing your own. You understand your strengths, your preferences, and your values, allowing your appearance to become a natural extension of who you are. This authenticity is what makes style timeless. People remember those who look comfortable in their own skin because confidence is far more memorable than any designer logo. The world often encourages people to equate luxury with importance, but lasting elegance comes from thoughtful choices, consistency, and authenticity. Every carefully selected outfit, every well-maintained detail, and every confident step sends a quiet message that you value quality over excess. Over time, this intentional approach becomes more than a way of dressing. It becomes a reflection of a disciplined mindset, proving that true style is never measured by the price of your clothes, but by the purpose behind every choice you make. Sophistication is often treated as though it is an exclusive privilege reserved for a select few. Many people believe it belongs only to those born into wealth, surrounded by luxury, or given opportunities that others never receive. But true sophistication has never been about social status or financial advantage. It is a way of thinking, behaving, and presenting yourself that anyone can develop through simple, consistent choices. The remarkable truth is that elegance is not inherited. It is cultivated. Every person, regardless of their background, has the ability to create a presence that reflects confidence, dignity, and timeless character. The journey begins with understanding that sophistication is built from the inside out. Expensive possessions may capture attention for a moment, but character earns lasting respect. A person who values honesty, kindness, discipline, and humility naturally creates an impression that feels genuine. These qualities cannot be purchased because they are developed through daily decisions. Every time you choose patience over anger, integrity over shortcuts, or gratitude over entitlement, you strengthen the qualities that define true refinement. Simple habits have extraordinary power because they shape your identity over time. Making your bed each morning, keeping your clothes clean, arriving on time, speaking respectfully, and treating others with courtesy may seem ordinary. Yet these actions quietly communicate discipline and self-respect. People often underestimate these habits because they are small, but small actions repeated consistently become part of your character. The world notices consistency long before it notices perfection. One of the most important elements of sophistication is emotional maturity. Life will always present disappointments, criticism, and unexpected challenges. The difference lies in how you respond. Sophisticated people do not allow every emotion to control their behavior. They pause before reacting, listen before judging, and remain calm even when situations become difficult. This emotional balance creates an atmosphere of confidence because people naturally trust those who remain composed under pressure. Another timeless quality is curiosity. Truly refined individuals never believe they know everything. They continue learning, reading, asking thoughtful questions, and expanding their understanding of the world. Knowledge influences the way you speak, solve problems, and connect with others. It also creates confidence because your conversations become richer and more meaningful. Education is not limited to classrooms. It is a lifelong habit of seeking wisdom wherever it can be found. Respect for others is another defining trait that costs nothing but carries immense value. The way you treat people who cannot benefit your career or improve your status reveals far more about your character than the way you interact with influential individuals. Greeting people warmly, expressing gratitude, listening with genuine interest, and showing kindness, regardless of someone's position, demonstrate a level of class that money cannot imitate. True elegance is reflected in how consistently you honor the dignity of every person you meet. Sophistication also requires self-control. In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, the ability to make thoughtful decisions has become increasingly rare. Choosing quality over quantity, speaking only when necessary, managing your finances responsibly, and resisting the urge to impress others with unnecessary displays all reflect maturity. Self-control creates stability, and stability often appears graceful because it is guided by purpose rather than impulse. Perhaps the greatest misconception about elegance is that it must be dramatic to be noticed. In reality, the most sophisticated people rarely seek attention. Their confidence is quiet, their manners are natural, and their actions consistently align with their values. They understand that there is no need to compete for admiration because genuine respect grows over time. Their presence feels calm rather than overwhelming, and that quiet strength often leaves a deeper impression than loud displays of success. Every refined quality begins as a simple decision repeated day after day. Confidence grows from keeping promises to yourself. Discipline grows from maintaining healthy routines. Wisdom grows from continuous learning. Kindness grows from choosing compassion, even when it is inconvenient. As these habits become part of your daily life, sophistication stops feeling like something you are trying to achieve and becomes a natural reflection of who you are, allowing your character to speak with a quiet elegance that no amount of wealth could ever replace.